So we're standing here in front of the brand new Charger Hellcat, and obviously it's a wide-body Hellcat,
right.
And that's the only way they're going to come, right?
Yes, from now on, the SRTs are only going to come with the wide body.
So how have you made this a more track-oriented vehicle?
So obviously the big tires are a huge change.
Yeah, those are big, 305s.
305s up from a 275 to a 305. It's available both four season is standard and 3 season is optional. Very sticky tire, obviously. But
have you driven one in the snow?
Yes, we have.
How was it?
We have. They're okay.
Yeah.
The 4 season tire, it's not a snow tire. It's not going to perform like a 3 season in the dry, right? But it's pretty manageable, yeah.
I got this impression of you like full lock, the cars going down the road sideways.
No, it's not that bad. It really isn't. The 4 season's actually a decent tire in the snow.
All right, so what have you done to kind of beef it up?
So yeah, we didn't just stop with big tires.
Right.
So we changed the front spring rate 38% stiffer, a significant change in front spring rate, and then we changed the sway bars, both front and rear, 18% stiffer in the front, 52% stiffer in the rear. Obviously with more grip, you're going to have tendency to have more roll angle. We wanted to counter that with bigger sway bars. They're still hollow, so we didn't up the weight of the vehicle very much by doing that. It comes with the adaptive Bilstein suspension, the shocks, those were significantly revalved. And then another big change we made new for 20 model year for this program was the EPS. We went from hydraulic power steering to electric power steering. So in doing that, we got, the different modes that come with that, the street sport and track setting for steering, you get nice low speed assist for parking lots and such like that. So it's a nice feature for the customer.
Did that help at all with fuel economy?
It probably did. Did it move the needle for us? No. It's a pretty small change, and yeah, it does. I mean, it is a fuel economy thing. That's why a lot of the automakers are doing it, and that's why we do it on other models. But for us, it was really about assist level. With the bigger tire, the steering loads are much higher. We were overcoming actually the hydraulic system, so we had to step up to the electric system to keep up with the tire grip.
So show me these big old Brembos that are hiding underneath the big old tires.
Yeah, so big power, big performance, you need to have big brake performance. So a 6-piston caliper with a 390 millimeter 2-piece rotor, huge braking power, huge fade protection, and then on the front, underneath the vehicle, on the bottom side of the belly pan, we added brake ducts for, again, more airflow to the brakes to keep them cool for tracking. So you can really have good thermal fade protection that way.
And did it actually brake shorter?
Yeah, it did. It did. We dropped 4 feet from 60 miles an hour down to 107 feet. So it's getting pretty short.
So let's talk numbers. 0 to 60?
0 to 60, 3.6 seconds, a tenth quicker. Quarter mile, 1096, about a tenth quicker in the quarter mile. Braking distance, we talked about, dropped 4 feet. And skid pad went up significantly, 0.90 Gs up to 0.96 Gs, so a pretty significant improvement in lateral.
And it's a little bit slower top speed, right, because it's a little bit wider. So what's the top speed?
It's a little bit slower. We went from 204 with the narrow body to 196 with the wide body. That was enough to keep us the fastest, production sedan in the world, so that's kind of cool. We were happy to be able to keep that.
Has anybody actually taken it to 204, the narrow body, and 196? You guys actually do high-speed testing?
Yeah, absolutely. I drove it. I drove the most recent model, and another guy at work drove the narrow body version of 204.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you get at that? I mean, is there at the Chelsea?
There's no, not at Chelsea. Actually, Chelsea's not big enough. The oval's not big enough.
Yeah.
We have a track in Ohio that we run. It's a 7.5 mile oval, so it is foot to the floor all the way around the track.
Yeah.
It's pretty breathtaking. You get to those speeds, and it's pretty exhilarating.
Now, when you get those speeds, obviously you got a lot of lift that happens. So have you done anything to lower it, to kind of bring it down?
We did. So this car comes with a unique spoiler. The Hellcat version comes with a unique spoiler. We got different look out of that. Obviously, we wanted to have it somewhat unique from the Scat Pack, and then we got 30 counts of downforce out of that in the rear, and then in the front. Again, on the belly pan, we've got the brake ducts, we've got a little air dam and tire spats. That reduced front lift by 40 counts. So a really significant change in aero balance with this package.
Okay.
And that really helps keep it planted at those high speeds.
Over there is the Hellcat Challenger. Here we got the Charger. Which one's better on the track? Which one is,
With the weight distribution, I mean, every time you do one of these cars, it's your new favorite, right?
Yeah.
And you learn little intricacies every time you do one of these cars. I think we're getting better and better at it, quite frankly. I think everybody does as they get more experience. This one has a little bit better weight distribution, a little longer wheelbase. You really can tell that when you're driving out of a corner. That extra weight in the rear of the car really provides a lot of extra grip. For corner exit, you can really lay the power down quickly. It's a Challenger. It's an unmistakable look. It's got that nostalgic heritage look. But on a track, this is a little bit heavier, but boy, that corner exit is really impressive.
So have you taken them on the track and seen which one is faster?
Yes, we have.
And which
yes,
one's
we
faster?
have. This one's a tick faster.
Okay,
this
all
one's
right.
a tick faster.
Now, obviously what makes the Challenger so unique are those two hollow headlights, right? Where
Yeah.
one of them brings air in. How have you done air management in the Charger? Where do you get that same?
So we've got a very similar setup. Obviously, we don't have the dual headlights, so we have a duct that comes up right next to the headlight on the front of the car that feeds right directly to the airbox.
Somewhere over here.
So it's actually on the other side. The airbox is over on this side. There's a duct right behind here where you're getting fresh air directly in.
All right.
So
you are getting the proper. What's this for? This is kind of cool. That's kind of a cool.
It's a design feature. I mean, it's for more airflow. So we're really focused on track performance of these things and thermal management. So we take a lot of effort to make these things cool in very high ambience on racing conditions.
And I got to ask you, what's your favorite one of these babies? I mean, you're in charge of all of them, so which one do you take home on the weekend?
Again, this is kind of the new favorite.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty special car. Your latest performance, your latest car is kind of always your favorite. It's the most recent Super Bowl is your favorite win. This is kind of the newest baby. It's like asking though, which one of your kids is your favorite?
Yeah.
Well, they're all different. They all do different things a little bit. But this is a sweetheart of a car. Real sweetheart of a car.
I love the color too. It's a really cool color.
Beautiful color.
Yeah,
Beautiful color.
Frostbite, right?
Frostbite.
Frostbite. Yeah, that's really cool. How have you done to make it look a little bit meaner, right? It's meaner,
right. It was all about aggression this time around. So we'll start with the namesake. It's the wide body, right?
Yep.
So we wanted to add width to it. So it's got these flares, different from the Challenger. They're integrated front and rear. Just a little bit of a different look. Ties into the splitter in the bottom.
And when you say integrated, in the Challenger, they look like they're bolted on, right?
Sure.
They're actually part of the.
They are, yeah. So they actually tie right into the fascia, and they're tied in right down here. So it gives a little bit of a different look. It's a different car, obviously, but we still. Yeah, and it's just, whereas one's very heritage based, this one is a little bit of a different animal, so we wanted to treat it as such. So that gave us kind of the room to do the a 3.5-inch width to the car, which allowed us to fit these big meaty tires and the 20 by 11s. So a little bit about this wheel. As I was saying before, it's the Warp Speed wheel, right? And it was inspired by, well, it wasn't inspired by, but it called to mind going into hyperspace when you looked at it on the screen, and it's so deep, and it's just like a really cool wheel in its entirety.
How much time do you spend on wheels? I mean, they seem like they're the crucial part of the vehicle.
They
right?
are, and it's actually a lot of fun when you're designing cars as a holistic product all day. The wheels are kind of the jewelry. Yeah. So I think most designers secretly love doing wheels because it's a chance to kind of unplug from the rest of the world. Wheels are somewhat simple in your approach to it. You kind of can just dial it in and really get something cool out there. And you would think that doing them for 100 years or so, you'd think of every possible solution, but we still maintain.
I remember the brass monkey wheels on the original Hellcat. Those were really cool.
Yeah.
How about colors? Is there like a color palette that you're working out of? Is there something that's new and kind of current versus retro and older?
Yeah, I think one of the kind of current things right now that we're working on is like what you saw on the Daytona, where it's a painted wheel, but it has so much flop that it almost looks like a dark chrome. So it's kind of playing shifting the paradigm a little bit from a traditional polished wheel to a painted wheel, but that has so much reflection, especially when you pair it up with the depth of these wheels, that it actually kind of shows like almost like a chrome wheel, but a revisited idea of that.
So how about the hood? Is this a special hood on the wide body?
No, this is the SRT hood.
Okay.
So it's this ties across the line to the narrow body and the wide body cars.
Now, one of the biggest differences I mean, this on the Challenger, right? You've got kind of this spoiler that's black plastic, but here you've got an integrated painted spoiler. Was that on purpose?
Yes, I mean, like I said, it's a different car, different animal, and so and because we did a unique fascia for the car, we wanted to integrate it in. So yeah, and then I guess to keep moving around the car as far as the design, the specifics, the sill is different. It's unique to the car. As I said before, it kind of helps accentuate. The car already has quite a bit of Coke bottle to it. It's got some good hips, so we really want to accentuate that, plus tie into the front and rear flares. Obviously the rear flares are wide as well, and tie into a rear fascia, which has the rear part of the flares integrated into it. So it has the splitter comes off.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not in the Challenger. It's black plastic, right? And it's much smaller. This one is much kind of deeper and wider, integrated into the design of the car.
And this one's specific to Hellcats. Okay. So the Scat Pack has a different spoiler on it. This one, like Jim had mentioned, is all about performance and downforce. So this one gets the maximum amount of downforce on the car.
All right, and how about the interior? What's new in there?
So interior, live stitching on all the on lots of the details. So standard in these cars is the heated and vented front seats, leather. There's the carbon suede package, which is super exciting because it's real carbon fiber trim panels in the instrument panel and in the console as well. And then the Scat Pack has a new flat bottom steering wheel, which is also leather wrapped. It's pretty cool. Again, kind of giving you that bridge between performance and premium.
How about colors? This obviously is black, but are there other interior colors?
Yeah, so new this year is a caramel color wave in the interior as well, which is really cool. It kind of elevates it quite a bit.
Is that different? There was almost like a camel color before. Is that different from that?
It's different. It's brand new. Yeah, right. It's a little bit more like a saddle. Well, it's called caramel, so I guess that's what it calls to mind. But yeah, it bounces off well with the black.
And then this right here, you're saying is real carbon fiber. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
These two bits. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.